Roy Hibbert was like really good, jumping straight up and down. So if they jump and they're vertical, you got principal verticality inside that charge circle. If they're up in the air, it doesn't apply anymore. So it's not a block. But if they stay on the ground to try to take the charge and they're inside that circle, it's an automatic block, and that's what they'll be able to go look at to see if they were inside or outside of that circle.
Yeah, and it's good to see that they're always trying to make the game better and be more efficient. So Bulls Madness was this past Friday. First opportunity to see the guys have some fun out there. Talk to us about what you saw from Bulls Madness, first maybe from the three-point contest and obviously the big dunk contest. Your two freshmen, Devontae Jordan, Quate McKenzie, going at it in the finals. Got a nice little pass from your manager, Jake Sweeney, out there from 205. But, what'd you see out there at Bulls Madness?
Look, Jake threw the perfect pass on take one, and Q screwed that thing up. If he would have flushed the thing on the first one, it would have, crowd game over. But then after he missed the first one, it took Jake a few tries to get it right again. But I think you saw how athletic, Quate is. And Devontae's pretty athletic himself. I mean, Jake got himself involved with both guys. Devontae wanted to jump over Jake and dunk, and I was afraid we already got one guy out with a broken wrist. I didn't need number 2 out. So he missed those. If he would have got it, maybe he would have been the dunk contest winner. I think James Jones was sick that night and couldn't participate. I thought he would be in there. I thought it would be those two and James, between the three of them. But it was fun. It's good. It's good for our guys get in front, especially for the new guys, for the fans to be able to see the new guys we brought in. And I think, I think they're going to be happy with the way they play. They go hard. They're athletic. They fit our style well. So it was fun. I think our guys, in the three-point contest, they had you pick a random student. I shouldn't say random, but, a normal student that's not a basketball player. I think our guys had some bad picks. They had a bad draft. The girls that they picked, I don't think, get the ball up to the rim. So they kind of handicapped themselves in the three-point contest on that regard. So
it was a fun event overall. Great crowd at Alumni Arena, and the crowd hopefully will come back out when the season gets underway. First games are November 4th. The women will play Bloomsburg. Men will play Damon at 8:30. We're going to take a quick break here. When we get back, Associate Head Coach Jim Weitzel is going to join us. You're going to stay with us as well. But right now you're listening to UB Basketball Insider with Nate Oates live from Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill.
This month at Town BMW, lease a 2016 BMW 320i X-Drive sedan.
Proud to be the official auto partner of UB Athletics and offers special pricing to UB students and employees.
Pricing, performance.
We got this, Coach. Join our hometown team and let's have a winning season.
We love our town.
From U Sports to the NFL, A-Turf synthetic grass fields are helping athletes have fun and perform at their peak. More than 30 Western New York schools and over 400 schools nationwide call A-Turf their home field. It's what the UB Bulls play on and the Buffalo Bills too. A-Turf Titan has the highest safety rating and the longest warranty. A-Turf, optimal performance for athletes, superior value for owners. Learn more at aturf.com.
Join us at Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill. Hey, it's Paul Santora letting you know we have 2 great locations. One on Millersport Highway next to the Marriott, one on Transit Road next to Transit Lanes. We've got 60 taps, 66 TVs. All of our food is made to order with the freshest and most natural ingredients. Both locations have live music, Millersport on Friday, Transit Friday and Saturday night. There's no better place to enjoy football and hockey with great drink and food specials for every game. Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill since 1927. 4 generations strong, the only family to say we are the original. Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill. Great food, great people, great beer.
From banner raising to buzzer beaters, don't miss another second of Bulls basketball. Get your season tickets today and be part of history as the men's team chases their 3rd consecutive MAC title.
He shoots a 3. He hits. Oh, yes! Are you kidding me?
While the women look to defend theirs.
Stephanie Reed, she might be the one to take this final shot. She tosses it.
Oh!
Good!
Oh!
The Bulls have got it!
For tickets, call 877-UB-THERE or visit ubbulls.com.
Welcome back to the worldwide leader in sports, ESPN 1520. Live from Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill, this is the Bulls Digital Network UB Basketball Insider. Now, here's Brian Wolf.
Back here at Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill on Miller Sport Highway. Coach, enjoying the food here at Santora's? Got some great
Yeah,
wings,
you know what?
some
It's
good
supposed to be a
pizza.
radio show. That somebody's obviously videotaping this because my wife's telling me it's going to be hard to lose weight if I keep eating wings. So whoever's videotaping it, they can take this down right now.
Well, we got to showcase the excellent food here that we have. But we got Associate Head Coach Jim Weitzel joining us now. Coach, how's it going?
It's going good. We're undefeated. Things are good. So
Nate talked
great
about
to be here.
Coach Weitzel has great perspective. He's been a head coach for a while. It's a good point that we are undefeated right now for all the fans. We haven't lost a game yet. So that's good. That's a good way to look
We're
at
on our
things.
way.
Yeah.
We talked about this in the past, but talk about the importance of having Coach Weitzel and the resume that he brings with him to the staff.
I kind of talked after the season. I think, especially in year one last year, especially with everything we went through, he was like really invaluable just because he's been through. There hasn't been a whole lot he hasn't seen. As he was a head coach forever. I don't even know, 24 years, 25 years, whatever it was as a college coach. And then he was an assistant under Majerus, an assistant at St. John's, both pretty high level places. So he's seen just about everything. And we were able, we went through some tough stretches last year, and he brings a little perspective to that. And we start winning. He brings a little perspective to that too. It's probably never as great as you think it is, never as bad as you think it is. So he's pretty good that way on both sides, I think.
Jim, for someone who's been in the game for so long and has seen so much, what was it like to go through that run last year and win a MAC championship and go to the NCAA tournament? For someone that's seen so much, what was that like for you?
I think the thing for us was interesting is, and they kept telling these guys, we can win this, but you have to accomplish this. We have to fix this. And I think that was kind of always the message there. And we always thought we had enough talent to do it. Now, the ball's got to go your way, the balance has got to be your way, et cetera. But I think that message was continually put forward to him and kind of, in a way, challenged to him. I thought that was a great job what they did with the guys that way. And I think that was one thing as a staff we kind of always felt that way. Even when I remember senior night, we played awful against Miami and we lost it. And we're like, well, we better get this thing fixed pretty soon because time's running out on us now. But I think, I think that was very fulfilling. And also in our league, it's a one-bid league. Like you're in the Big East, you can end up 4th or 5th and still be in, or you're in the Atlantic 10, you could be 5th or 6th and still get in. In this league, it's a one-shot deal. So, you really have to peak at the right time, play well at the right time, and continue to motivate all the time.
Looking forward to this season. You kind of switched some things up, bringing in Coach Hunter, obviously someone who has so much success as a guard in college and in the NBA. Now, Coach Weitzel, you're taking over the post players. Talk to us about maybe the difference from last year working with the guards to moving over to the post this year.
Well, it's fun. At St. John's and St. Louis, I work with the big guys. So I really like coming back to that and spending time with them. And so, wherever Nate puts me, it's fine with me. But it's in a way, it's kind of a neat challenge to go back and see, hey, look, how can we get this player better individually, or you can zone in on a few things. And obviously, Lindsey, with all his great playing success, you got a guy here that makes sense to bring in a guy that has ran the point and understands perimeter play incredibly well. So to me, I was happy to do it if that's what he wanted me to do, and I've enjoyed it so far. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, for both of you guys, talking about some of the big men, the one guy that continues to impress me every day in practice, and again, this is because I think of how much he worked in the offseason, is Nick Perkins, and you can see it, and his body type just as strong as they come right now, and he just does some really great things out there. Talk to us about Nick's progression and really what the season that you expect from him this year.
I think it really started midway through last year. He came in, and I think he had a lot of upside. We knew that, but, he had to get some issues fixed and just figure out how to play at the college game and effort every day. I thought he was our best big for the last month of the season, month and a half of the season last year. He was playing really well at a really high level, which culminated in him being our leading scorer against Miami in the NCAA tournament. We were starting to run some stuff for him. So I think he had all that confidence going in the offseason, but then instead of sitting on it, knowing he could play well, he really pushed himself. I think him and CJ were roommates last year. They're roommates again. those two push each other. You know, they play different positions, but they get in the gym together. They make sure each other are going hard, pushing each other. They talk to each other. They got a really good chemistry going, and the two of them both put a lot of time in this summer, last spring, you know, and now this fall. And I do think, you know, he's nowhere close to perfect, as Coach Weitzel can attest, working with the bigs, but he's got a lot of ability, and he's put a lot of time in, and, you know, we're going to continue to coach him up, and I think he's got a shot to be really good this year, and the future for him is really bright, in my opinion.
I think for our fans, it'll be one of the things. I think they all know he can shoot the three. And at Miami, I mean, Nate put in some new sets going into that game in the NCAA tournament. He goes out and gets, 3 in a row or 3 in the first couple of minutes that got us that nice lead. I think for us to see kind of things we've talked to Nick about now is let's get you more diversified in terms of playing in and out. And actually, last question I asked our managers, how many rebounds did Nick have in practice today? It was 8. Which is good. I mean, we need him to get to the free throw line. We need him to play in and out. We need him to. I think he's the strongest kid in our team. He loves the weight room. He really has embraced that part of it. So strength's not going to be an issue for him. And so if we can get him to do a little bit of that, I think he's got a chance to have an incredible career here. I mean, I think he's got a chance to be a special player. And, you know, who knows where it lies from there. But if he keeps making the strides that Nate wants him to, I think he can. The sky's the limit for him.
Talk to us maybe about some of the other big men. Of course, the new faces, Quate, Brock, the guys that maybe fans really haven't seen yet. What are they doing in practice, and what are some of their strengths that fans can look forward to?
Well, I think, you know, they're drastically different, but they're both really good in their own way. Quate is more of a 4 that we're, you know, play some 3 as well. Hopefully in the future he turns into more of a 3. But he's long, he's active, he's really athletic. You know, he's bouncy, he's some natural for him to step out to 3 all the time, but he has that capability of doing it. And then where Brock, you know, Brock's more traditional post kid, but, you know, he does some things on our team better than anybody else as far as the bigs. You know, he's got great hands, he passes the ball well for a big. He understands, you know, positioning very well, and he's got a big body to, you know, put it on people with the rebound. You know, he's not as bouncy as some of our other guys, but he's big and wide and knows how to use his body and got great hands. So I think, you know, there's a spot for both of them. And, you know, we'll see. We got a lot of bigs. With Raheem redshirting last year, it wasn't planned. You know, we kind of recruited Brock in to replace him, and Raheem's still here. You know, there's probably an abundance of bigs in there, and so we'll have to kind of figure out what we're going to do with all that. But they both come a long ways here. Brock's come a long ways. And I think he had to adapt to the athletic guys around him, the athleticism in practice every day, and he's figuring it out pretty quick. I think Coach Weitzel probably looks at them a lot more than I do, so he's probably got a better answer for you. But that's my take right now.
Yeah, I think Quate obviously athletically is exactly the way we like to play, and I think he's going to kid. Nate and I were talking the other day. You know, if he keeps making the progression we're hoping to do. From the Bahamas trip, summer to here, we need to find, obviously, playing time for him because he's always so active. And he adds length and he adds this versatility. And he's always had to make an adjustment because he's played with certainly good guards. And I think, like Nate said, he's had to adjust to the athleticism. But each day now, he's gotten a little bit better. And I think that's what you have to do with these big guys a little bit is, are you making just an incremental progression? It's not going to be, you're going to make a huge jump in a day. Hopefully in a month you're going to be solid in this area, a little bit better in this area. You understand this terminology better. You're a little bit tougher. You're a little bit, you know, pick things up faster. If you can do that with those guys, you can make a lot of progression. So it's great. And Raheem, Coach mentioned him. Raheem's got another guy that can really run the floor and, you know, get in on plays. So it's been good. It's good depth. And you never know where this goes. Guy gets hurt. Another guy doesn't play as well. We're going to need them all, so at least to come around, and we'll see what Coach wants to do with them. But so far, we're making some progress with them.
Great. Well, we need to take a quick break. Coach Oates, thanks for your time. Coach Weitzel, you're staying for one.
This month at Town BMW, lease a 2016 BMW 320i X-Drive sedan for $275 per month. Only $275 per month. Call 505-2100. 505-2100.
Pricing, performance.
We got this, Coach. Join our hometown team and let's have a winning season.
We love our town.
by consolidating print resources and implementing initiatives that reduce waste. Choose the winning team and visit comdoc.com or call 716-689-0202 to see how Buffalo's premier technology solutions provider can help you optimize your workflow.
On Transit Road next to Transit Lanes. We've got 60 taps, 66 TVs. All of our food is made to order with the freshest and most natural ingredients. Both locations have live music, Millersport on Friday, Transit Friday and Saturday night. There's no better place to enjoy football and hockey with great drink and food specials for every game. Santora's.
Midweek football returns to UB Stadium on Thursday, October 27th when the Bulls host MAC rival Akron. Kickoff is 7:30 p.m., but the excitement starts at 4:30 right inside Stampede Square. Don't miss out on the tailgate concert feature there. That's 877-UB there or visit ubbulls.com.
Welcome back to the worldwide leader in sport. Here's Brian Wolf.
Back here at Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill with Associate Head Coach Jim Weitzel. And just a reminder, at the top of the hour, you'll have UB Football Insider with John Fuller and Lance Leipold. Coach, before we get talking about some basketball, got to talk about your Cubbies, a big win yesterday.
Yes, I was very happy last night with our run production, and we're going to put the goat away. And never ever talk about it again. So tonight's a big night. I'm very excited. We got Lester throwing, so I'm a huge Cub fan, and it's good to see them get off the skid we were in. We couldn't hit the ball at all. So happy to see it. Very happy.
And Coach Bowman's a Cubs guy too, right?
Yes, we've got a little bit of Illinois influence there. I lived in Chicago for a long time and grew up in Iowa, so there you are, a Cubs fan. You were as part of being in the Hawkeye State. So very happy to see that. It's been a long run. So good to see them have so many fun players to watch.
So, one of the things that we were going to talk about is obviously in the offseason, every coach has other duties as assigned. And one of those duties for you is the schedule. And you put one together this year, a schedule that will definitely test the team in multiple games. But talk to us about putting a schedule together, maybe how difficult it is or how easy it is. Just, what's the mindset when you're putting a schedule together?
Well, one of the things obviously we have the local teams that will play, certainly with, Niagara, Canisius, and St. Bonnie's. We always want to keep that relationship going, and we think that's good for basketball in the area. So those dates are kind of always penciled in somewhere in November or December. But then you try to, I really like Nate's philosophy in terms of let's go out and place people that will help us and get it better for the conference, and I think that really helped us last year. Even though our non-conference last year was a struggle. People don't realize how good St. Joe's at St. Joe's is, or even Old Dominion at Old Dominion. Forget playing Duke at Duke and you get on national TV, or Kentucky the year before, Wisconsin, etc. We want to do that because it's good for recruiting, it's good for our players, it gives them an opportunity to get in that spotlight. But along with it, there's a growth and development that we've embraced with our guys. It's like, hey, let's go line up. So this year you see, the local teams as usual on there, but certainly at Pittsburgh, at Creighton, at Xavier, and then the Alaskan Shootout, which is a very, very strong, quote, mid-major field, I guess. Ourselves, Iona were in the NCAA tournament, but I think there are 5 or 6 teams that won 20 games last year. So ought to be some teams out of that thing to go back to the NCAAs or win their conference, in my opinion. So I think that's good. Our administration obviously wants us to play them. I think that's been a good thing. We turn around and for our fans, try to make it as local as we can, like Pittsburgh's local enough for us to drive. But I think they also like the idea of us playing like the Dukes or the Kentuckys or Creighton, and Xavier will be on national TV. Xavier's ranked yesterday in CBS Sports number 5 in the country. Creighton was I think 21. So we want to do that. I think it's been good for our program. With that being said, sometimes our non-conference schedule, our non-conference record isn't as good as some of the teams in our league, but I think it does help us when you get into conference play because you've been pretty much battle-tested, and hopefully you can refer back to some moments or segments that you made some progression, and you're hopefully get a lot better with it.
Yeah, and I think that's always something. When you talk to a lot of the guys, hey, why'd you come to Buffalo? And they always say, oh, well, I saw them have a lead at Kentucky, and I saw them have a lead at Wisconsin, and I saw them play at Duke and at Iowa State. And it really helps in the recruiting aspect as well. Is that right?
I agree. I think you can get the more you can be visible, the better. And I think for these kids, it's also it's an educational experience too. I mean, you know, when you go and play at Duke, when they're old like me, they can tell their kid, I got down there and, you know, whether it's C.J. Master, I had 17, or Nick Perkins had, you know, whatever, I played there, and I think that's great for them. I also think at our level, you know, kids can aspire, and it's great Lindsey's on our staff because he played at Jackson State, and which is not a league that's certainly as strong as ours. And can you get to the next level, or, you know, hopefully play basketball after college, after you get your degree? And so getting a chance to line up against those guys sometimes is a good motivational deal. And I think for our guys right now, you know, we've got Niagara on the road and we had Xavier on the road right away. And the one thing that always is concerning as a coach is how many road games will you play? And we've got our hands full. I told Nate, I said, it looks great on paper right now. We'll see how much we like it in December. After we come back from Alaska, we go to Creighton, we go to Pitt, and we go to St. Bonnie's. I mean, that's a tough schedule for, I don't care who it is. If you're Duke, that's a tough schedule to go and do all that traveling and compete in that. So we'll be battle tested, and we'll be probably a little tired by the time we come home in mid-December.
But you'll rack up the frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, we'll get those. I don't know what Bowman does with those, but we'll see where they go.
Well, Coach, appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us. That's going to do it for today's episode of UB Basketball Insider with head coach Nate Oates, associate head coach Jim Weitzel. We're going to take a break. When we come back, UB Football Insider with John Fuller and Lance Leipold right here from Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill.
You've been listening to UB